Okay, so I don't even know how much time I have because I don't know how much space is on my phone. And it's the end of the day, so yes, it is what it is. I wanted to come and talk with my first talking now live video in a while about embarrassment and inspiration. Can you be inspired and feel embarrassed at the same time? And I'm saying that from a lot of different perspectives because I have been very transparent on here with you guys lately, which is so funny that the things that are bothering me are not even the things that I talk to you guys about. One of the number one things that is bothering me right now is my weight and getting my blood pressure down, but really just how I feel about my current weight. Okay. So I was putting together a happy planner. Like I'm using like 3 planners in one for like the next 4 months. And I was surprised as I was doing this like little crafty project, all kind of videos about it, how you can customize it to make it suit your needs. I was very shocked that I have a separate place to put things down that are not finance related. Like I feel like that my finances were really bothering me, but when I created what I consider a wellness planner, which is gonna like address like my routines for my weight loss, for journaling, like trying new things like yoga, like I'm putting a space in my life for that. It sounds very simple and very trivial, but it made me realize that I never really made a space for things like that. In the past, I had a fitness planner, like when I had a personal trainer. That's one thing they'll tell you to do is write down all of your meals so that you can like meal track and kind of do like a rough calorie count. This was before they even had apps, but doing it written does make you feel like you are more conscious. Does that make sense? It's not something that you put off. You're like, oh, I'm going to guesstimate that, or you just flip through. No, but actually writing down what you're eating throughout your day will make you say, oh, do I really need to eat these nachos or this extra food and things like that? And just having a space to allow myself to do that in the fitness category, and now that wellness and mental health, like just being whole, is a current kind of concept. Even doing that for like my mental space, like saying like, what do I need to do to address some things that I'm working on? I had like a little casual meeting at work today, and sorry guys, I'm in a parking lot right now. People are parking in front of me and beside me, and it was all about happiness at work. And one of the things that it just kept reiterating, it was this employee driven kind of like conversational thing, was that it does start within. But the thing that I'm going to take away is, and I brought it up, was sometimes you have to practice having a good attitude. And sometimes your practice starts at 15 minutes a day and you work up to 12 hours a day of having a good attitude. And that's how I feel about being inspired, is sometimes I'm not inspired. And I'm not going to say fake it till you make it, but practice it. Like right now, I'm really seeking out things that inspire me. One thing that is really bothering me and bringing me down right now is that I have to do it again. I think I've talked about that somewhere along the line. It's like, losing weight again, rebuilding my relationship again, just working on like career development again. And I've talked about this in the past. I don't know, it's just something about January and these jury, first of the year months where the end of the year is done, you get excited, there's a party, but then it's like when you start to self-reflect, what did I really accomplish? Like that starts hitting my mind, and I just need to do something that's more tangible. But it's kind of weird because I like sharing with you guys, and I enjoy people who share, but it does feel, is it hypocritical or embarrassing, or like what gives you the right or authority to speak on certain things when your life is not in line? And I was gonna book a SoulCycle class today, and one of the guys had like his little quote on there was that it's okay to be a masterpiece and a mess at the same time, or a masterpiece and a work in progress at the same time. And just little quotes like that, it's like sometimes you don't feel that you're getting the answers that you need from life. And I have posed questions before to you guys about how to stay rejuvenated and things along that line, especially as you get older. And I don't feel like anybody like really answered the question. And it's like, there's different things people say, oh, well, most times they don't have an answer. They haven't thought about it. And that's kind of why I like doing my channel, is to kind of like bring that kind of like thought process forward in my own life and to share it and start that dialogue. And for me, what I thought it was going to be like, oh, just working out or losing weight or getting more calm. It's like, yeah, when I focus on those things, that comes, but the answer to that question never came, which is like, how do you just keep getting re-inspired and rejuvenated as you get older? And I think it is asking new questions, is like really reflecting. In this workshop that they had, we had to like watch a TED talk, and it was like a website that we went on for like goal setting and really reflecting. And I said that a lot of times you end up going through the motions and you don't reflect, and you just end up spinning your wheels because there's no reflection coming to the question of discovery about who you are and what it takes to make you motivated or happy. Because an older person in there stated that you have to check in with yourself often, like throughout time of your career and of your life, because the things that used to drive you in the past, they change as you get older. And I can definitely say this year has been a changing year for me. Like one of my coworkers, she was like, yeah, when I entered into this year, I just knew that it was going to be a year of change. And I didn't feel that way. I was like, girl, I've had so many new years in my life that it's not exciting to me. It's not important to me. But so much has happened in this short amount of time, the month of January, that I can't help but look and feel that something is pushing me in a different direction and change of priorities and goals, and in a major way. And I made like such a big deal about my relationship in January, and it is still something that I want to maintain, but I did share with you guys that it's no longer a priority for me right now, because as I look at things within myself, I notice that there is a lot that I need to work on, or that I need to practice. I was watching The Financial Diet. I love that channel, but in a weird way, I love it. I don't really like the host that much. She's a little bit stiff for me, but I like that it talks about finances in a practical way. Anyway, she had Kel Catrone, which was like a major PR person, like back in the early 2000s. It's where the Girls of the Hills worked, and she like was very transparent about a lot of different things in her life. And Kelly Catrone is a unique person. She dresses in all black. She's not traditionally like Hollywood beautiful or New York beautiful. She is like a fashion PR person though. And one thing that she said in the interview was that she allows herself 3 hours of spiritual practice a day. Now, I don't know what she's doing for 3 hours. I don't even know what that, I like, my mind can't even think about that. But the idea of allowing yourself to practice anything for 3 hours a day, whether it be patience, calm, peace, love, doing a better job, taking better criticism, or acting on criticism, is changing. Like sometimes we don't feel like we are doing enough, or that we are far enough. And then it's like when people look at us from the outside, it may seem that way, for anybody's life. So we need to take notice into those small accomplishments. That's something I had started doing, like when I had like no idea, like I just had like all these like random thoughts in my mind, because I was at this place of embarrassment once again, of just like, man, like what am I doing? I'm not doing anything. Or, I had a meltdown, and then I just had, I had beat myself up so much, which I do have a tendency to do, that I really just had a still small voice that says, you got to start with at least celebrating the small wins of just maintaining. And even though I'm not where I want to be overall, there's still power in keeping your ground. Sometimes you don't gain any ground, and sometimes it's hard not to lose anything. And sometimes you may lose ground, but just keep your ground, like keep some ground, keep making progress in your life. And that's hard and heavy sometimes. I don't want to ramble too much, but it's like, even like when the whole Kobe Bryant thing happened, I didn't like come on here and mention it or talk about it. And I was talking to my sister and she would talk about it. I was like, because my grandfather just turned 80 years old and it happened like on his birthday. He said they overshadowed my day. And I was just like, I told my sister, I said, I can talk about my grandfather's birthday, but I can't talk about what's in the news right now because I just took my grief clothes out. Like, I just took them off, I can't put that back on. Like, it's too heavy for me. And my sister was like, oh, the novelty of being able to like turn somebody else's death like off and on. Like, you can just turn it off and say you can't deal with it right now. And like, that is true. And sometimes it does feel weird or cruel to say such a thing, but sometimes, and I've said it over and over again in my lives, you have got to turn off and disconnect a lot of things from your life just to get survival so that you can get a clear peace of mind and come back to living in a way. I was going to say like in a different way, in a more approachable way, in a sustainable way, in a more mature way, it's like in a way that, in a more transformed way. Can I say that? In a more transformed way. And going back to just like feeling embarrassed, it's really weird. The world is really weird right now. I was watching some stupid show on TV last night because I couldn't sleep. It was Yolanda Hadid's model show that I didn't even know she had. I guess it was from years ago. And there was a girl on there talking about her anxiety, her social anxiety, and her dyslexia. She was doing a model walk and she couldn't do the turn properly, and she blamed it on her dyslexia. And one of the girls on the show, the girl was my side. She was kind of like my bad side. She was like she was like laughing and just like, oh my God, like she was getting fed up with it. And it was because this other girl who had the social anxiety and the dyslexia, basically she was leading with her weakness. And it's like, how far can that really get you if you're leading with your weakness? And just unconnectedly, I had the workshop today, and business corporations always teach you, like, that's like the current thought process is do not focus your time on your weaknesses because everything can be like outsourced. Spend 80% of your time on what you're good at and becoming better at that. And the 20% that you're weak on, you can work on it or you can outsource it. You have to kind of like weigh your strengths because you're able to get further based on what you are strong at versus trying to beat yourself into being good at things that could be done by somebody else. And that is all depends on how far you want to go. But that takes a different kind of mentality because I think that's what keeps people small, is that they focus on their weaknesses and they try to make these incremental steps to push these giant things forward that are not even their best attributes. Does that make sense? Like, and you can see like on social media how people may come and they may start out doing like one thing, and then they just like capitalize off like their major talent. Like, I don't know why it's on my mind, but It's Judy's Life came on doing makeup, and I don't even see her as like Beauty by Judy. I don't think most people do anymore. They see her as her family vlog. It's like, you could be good at something. Like, the overall thing is being good at social media, but it doesn't mean that you have to just say, well, I've got to be a beauty guru, or I've got to be a family vlogger, or I've got to do mukbangs. And that's like the same way in life. It's not like you've got to have a college degree, or you've got to be a doctor or a nurse or a lawyer or any of those things to do well in life, but it does serve you to know what you're good at and to know what you can work tirelessly at. I don't know. I feel like I'm good at being transparent, I'm good at relating to people. I'm really good at negotiation. And I'm also good at bringing order into chaos. Like, those are things that I'm good at. But sometimes it could be like embarrassing. As I'm on this platform, I show you guys a different side of myself when I truly want to be more inspiring. And I guess like back in the old days, people, when everybody was a Christian, I don't know what that was, but when everybody in my life was a Christian, it was like you would have those testimony Tuesdays where people would get up in church and tell you like embarrassing stories, like about drug addiction, domestic violence, layoffs, and then they would tell you the miracle that they received or something that happened to them that was outside of their realm of consciousness. So it would take something that would be very embarrassing, and then you put a positive spin on it, and then it became very, very inspiring. And I guess that's the thing, like, is being honest with yourself so that you can strip down things. It is embarrassing, and I don't know if it's really worth it to do it in front of other people. Like, the big part of me says that it's worth it, right? Somebody can learn from your story, even if they do it in a way that is hurtful to you and like laugh at you or poke fun at you or whatever. They can still take the lesson like, oh, I would never do that. I would never do this. Or they'd be like, oh, that would never happen to me. And so when they see that situation like creeping upon them, they have like a frame of reference. But the small part is that it is like hurtful, or like just like embarrassing when you're not doing what you feel like you should be doing. Or for me, like, I have no idea what I should be doing. Like, but because I have opened myself up to being truly honest with myself above all, like truly honest, and really focused on just the small little breadcrumbs of life, like being calm, showing up every day to things that pay. Okay? Things that pay. And I'm not just talking about money, but that is important. Money. Also health. Like, if you know that losing weight is going to improve your health, show up for that. Show up for the good health. Like, I don't want to work out today, but I got to show up for myself. So yeah, I just wanted to put that message out there, like being embarrassed but still being inspired at the same time. It is not easy at all, but everybody has things in their life that embarrass them. I think it's really brave for people to express that. And I think going forward in the future, as media changes and the generation changes, you're going to find less and less people who are willing to really be honest in a helpful way. I don't know, you guys. I'm not going to let this video cut off. It is 16 minutes long of me sitting in this dark car. Like when you sit in a dark space, it just makes everything look kind of dark. But I hope you guys got something out of it, because that's my purpose. That of my channel is to just be honest and express myself and open up a dialogue of thought and how to grow, but not like in the traditional way of people that just want to, oh, I just want to sell hair. There's nothing wrong with that. Oh, I just want to make a lot of money. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you don't know what your foundation is, or you don't know what shakes it or makes it, or how to create one, it's hard to maintain. I'm telling you guys, I don't like to tell everybody else's story, and it's not, I just don't. I let other people tell their story, but I have seen, and I'm sure you have seen, so many people come and go in business, in corporate, and whatever. There's power in growing no matter what. Like, along the way, you're going to go through and you are going to get embarrassed, and you are going to have to come back from that and be inspired at the same time. That's like, I thought it was like something really simple, but even when I look back over the last year, I'm telling you, I didn't know like how I was going to like face people again, because so many people knew about something that was so private and personal to me that I had a hard time facing people for a long time. And even now, I like avoid people sometimes, but I call myself out on it. I call myself out on it, and that is a way for me to practice strength and getting better. Like, now why are you avoiding? Or is it really worth it if you see somebody going one direction that you pause and wait and go the other? Like, is that really worth it? Why are you just doing that? Maybe you're missing out on some good relationships by doing that. Good relationship buildings, because you know what I'm starting to notice, especially being out here by myself, like I said, I am in the grocery store parking lot, it's about 5 o'clock, is that relationships sometimes don't have to be long and deep for them to be helpful, because there are people that have the ability to help you in big ways that may not be anything to them. Like, even like when it concerns like finding a new job, like I am a true witness and example that it only takes one person to give you a good referral. Everybody can hate you or demean you, but it only takes one person to say, you know what? I have a position for you. So don't And I'm just saying, I don't know, how can I motivate you guys when I feel like so whatever? But it's like now what I'm about to say, like it motivates me to say, don't be discouraged by anything that is embarrassing you, because it can always be turned around for inspiration. And really within yourself, just knowing that things are possible. Like that's like a Les Brown video, if you guys can go out there and find that, where he just says you have to tell yourself that it is possible. Like just that idea that it is possible, meaning that somebody else can do it so you can also do it, somebody else can obtain it so you can also obtain it. Don't play yourself small. Like don't like I can't say it any other way. Don't even let things that are embarrassing to you play you small. I don't want to ramble and say the same things over and over again on this gray, oh, it's so gray. You see a little bit of sky. Gray day in Houston. I'm going to let you guys go. I don't have on any eye makeup, so that's kind of different here. But thank you guys so much for watching and staying and supportive and being along for my journey, because it's definitely been a journey. Bye, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day.